Working for Peace, 1944 to 1946. In September 1944, Gandhi was in Bombay, staying at Birla House. Ghanshyam Das, Birla, was a very rich factory owner who first met Gandhi in Calcutta in 1915. He did not always agree with Gandhi, but he regularly gave money to Gandhi's ashrams and other programs. Birla had houses in Delhi and Bombay, and Gandhi had stayed with him several times. Jinnah's house was on the same road, and Gandhi walked there to talk to him about the situation in India. Jinnah was seriously ill, but they met every day for 2 weeks. Jinnah wanted a separate Muslim state, Pakistan, before the British left India. Gandhi wanted to wait until India was free, and he did not want the new nation to be completely separate from India. Jinnah and Gandhi could not reach an agreement. In 1945, the Second World War ended, and Nehru and the other leaders were allowed to leave Ahmednagar prison. There was a new viceroy, and he called all the leaders to a meeting to talk about India's future. Gandhi traveled third class by train in the summer heat to Simla, the government's summer capital. Simla was in the hills, with views of the snow-covered Himalaya mountains. Gandhi, now 75 years old, felt tired and sad, and he wanted the younger leaders to have control. But the meeting in Simla failed. Jinnah would not accept the Muslim Congress leaders and even refused to shake Azad's hand. He wanted the Muslim League to have control of all Muslim votes, and he asked all Muslims to work for Pakistan. There was a new British government which promised that Britain would leave India. In March 1946, the British government sent a team to India to plan for an Indian government and to solve the Pakistan problem. The viceroy asked Gandhi to come to Delhi to meet the team. As the Congress leaders negotiated with the British, Gandhi was still involved. But at one meeting, Gandhi advised the Congress leaders not to accept the ideas of the British. There was a long silence, and no one spoke. Finally, Gandhi got up and left the meeting. The British agreed to a new Indian government, and Jawaharlal Nehru became head of this government. India would become completely independent in 1947. There had been violence in Calcutta in August 1946, and many Hindus and Muslims were killed. And in September, there was violence in Bombay and in the provinces of Punjab, Bengal, and Bihar. Most violence was in the cities, but in October, there was violence in the villages of Noakhali in East Bengal, where Muslims killed Hindus. Then, in revenge, Hindus killed Muslims in Bihar. Nehru flew to Bihar to talk to the people there. Gandhi decided to go to Noakhali. He went first by train to Calcutta. As he drove through the city with Hasan Shahid Surawardi, the leader of Bengal, Gandhi saw the burned houses and destroyed shops, with rubbish everywhere on the streets. Surawardi belonged to the Muslim League, but he had known Gandhi for years and called him Bapu. Gandhi left for Noakhali with a group of companions on the 6th of November. He was going as God's servant, he said. He was saddened by the pain of others, by the madness that can turn a man into less than an animal. He believed that he was partly responsible for the violence. He had probably made mistakes, and he blamed himself, and so he had to work to change the situation. He did not know what he would be able to do in Noakhali, but he knew that he had to go there to be at peace with himself. Gandhi went by train and then by ship to Chomuhani, a land of rivers and trees where Muslims and Hindus had lived together for centuries. For 4 months, Gandhi went from village to village, traveling by boat or on foot. The weather was cold. In each village, he stayed in the house of a poor farmer, often Muslim, and sat outside to pray and listen to the villagers. Every day he read from the Quran, did his spinning, and wrote letters. Usually, he slept for only 4 hours each night. Manu cooked for him, and Professor Nirmal Bose from Calcutta also went with him and began to teach him to speak Bengali. The others in his team, Pyaralal and his sister Sushila, Kanu Gandhi and his young wife Abba, were all sent separately to different villages to teach about peace. It was dangerous for all of them. Gandhi knew he could be killed, and he was ready to die. But in all the villages they stayed in, their work resulted in peace. In those 4 months, Gandhi visited 49 villages. Hindus met him with songs, and Muslims were usually friendly, although some did not like him to read from the Quran. In every village, he asked the villagers to promise not to murder others again. He visited women and sick children and met untouchables. He often walked without shoes. His feet were covered with cuts, and he had to walk carefully over narrow wooden bridges. He often sang one of Tagore's songs, Walk Alone, and he repeated the words from the Christian song that he had loved since his days in South Africa, One Step Enough for Me. Some Indian leaders continued to ask Gandhi for advice while he was in Noakhali. In December, Nehru traveled from Delhi to tell him about the recent meetings in London about Pakistan. In March 1947, Gandhi left Noakhali and traveled to Bihar. Bihar was special to Gandhi because it was the province where he had worked to help the indigo farmers in 1917. The Hindus in Bihar had wanted revenge for the violence in neighboring Noakhali. In November 1946, crowds had killed about 7,000 Muslims. Although it was 4 months since the violence, Muslims in Bihar were still afraid. Gandhi immediately began to visit towns and villages. He visited Muslim families and listened to them, and he asked Hindus to help Muslims return to their homes. Many Hindus gave money to help Muslims to rebuild their lives. Ghaffar Khan came to join Gandhi and helped with his work there. Gandhi was now 77 years old, and he said that he would not rest, nor let others rest. There was a fire burning in him, and he could have no peace until he could solve the problem of the violence. Nouns: 1. Owner, a person who possesses something. 2. Program, a planned event or show. 3. Situation, a set of conditions. 4. Silence, absence of sound. 5. Violence, physical force to harm. 6. Revenge, retaliation for harm. 7. Rubbish, trash or waste. 8. Companions, people or animals with whom one spends time. 9. Servant, a person who works for someone. 10. Madness, severe mental illness. 11. Centuries, 100-year periods. 12. Professor, a senior teacher at a university. 13. Promise, a commitment to do something. 14. Murder, the unlawful killing of a person. 15. Advice, recommendations for action. 16. Indigo, a deep blue color. 17. Rest, the remaining parts or a period of relaxation. Verbs: 1. Reach, to arrive at. 2. Refused, declined to accept. 3. Negotiated, discussed to reach an agreement. 4. Involved, connected or included. 5. Advised, gave suggestions. 6. Flew, moved through the air past a fly. 7. Saddened, made someone feel sad. 8. Blamed, held responsible. 9. Spinning, turning around quickly. 10. Responsible, having a duty. Adjectives: 1. Regularly, frequently or often. 2. Seriously, in a thoughtful way. 3. Separate, apart from others. 4. Independent, free from control. 5. Special, different or better than usual. 6. Recent, happened not long ago. 7. Partly, to some extent. 8. Responsible, obligated to something or someone. Phrasal verbs: 1. Turn into, to transform into something else. Adverbs: 1. Separately, apart from others.